So this is the regression as well. I see it. 9, 8, 7. No, well, 9, 7, 8. It gets back. It grows back up, but you know, this 9s and 10s is where you want to be. But in the past here, you had the Ace of Wands. So there was a new exciting beginning coming up. There was something that was potentially in regards to an ex, maybe. Because the Ace of Wands can be a rekindling of an old flame. You know, that fire passion card here. There's some serious passion here coming up. Now, it has a lot to do with your sense of confidence too, I feel like you in the past had the confidence that you needed to manifest this new beginning or manifest something from here on. Also, and it really showed externally because you were very confident in yourself. There was really strong confidence cards coming out. So you felt very good about yourself and your ability to manifest something or manifest whatever it is that you were looking for. This new beginning started out, and it was because of how you felt about yourself that was, you know, that was excellent. Okay, very good, you know, good, very good cards. Yeah, you know, the first card here, Ace, you know, that's amazing. But now you guys have the 9 of Wands, so you guys feel very exhausted considering how much you've been putting in, how much work you've been putting into the relationship, hard work, feeling beaten down, exhausted. And I feel like it's because you've emotionally, you finally feel like you've been making progress. You've been finally seeing the fruits of your labor start to blossom. However, it's still not at prosperity level. You're still not getting what it is that you are looking for. Okay. You're still not necessarily happy with how it is, but there is a lot of work needed to get to where you guys want to be. And I feel like that can be a bit discouraging. It can be kind of hard to, you know, to want, it's kind of hard to manifest like this because of course, right, when you've been putting a lot of hard work in and you want kind of expect some sort of, you know, some sort of good stuff to turn out, finally, you know, see something more than what you've been trying to do for the last, you know, I don't know however long you've been working for it, working towards anything, and you don't really see exactly what you are wanting yet. But the fact of the matter is, you have been putting a lot of work in this relationship. You have started to see some sort of turnout. Emotionally, you see it, but the Three of Swords is showing that you are still feeling a lot of pain. You're still feeling a bit of distrust. You still feel, you know, a little bit of hurt because there isn't a lot of stuff happening very fast and it's not really changing very soon. But then again, you're not necessarily ready to give up on the situation, but then in your emotions, you feel tired. You feel, you know, you don't really know if you really want to put in all that work necessary to make this relationship work. But the thing here is, guys, is that you had everything that you need. The past is our foundation. It's where we come from. And now with these two cards, it showed me that you guys have confidence that you have, you know, the confidence that you need to manifest what it is that you want. Knight of Pentacles, she's got the confidence here, as you see with her in the bird. She knows that she can manifest whatever she wants. She got it around her. She's surrounded by abundance. And that abundance doesn't have to be necessarily money. It could be anything. Whatever makes her happy. Whatever makes her feel good and stable. And this here is absolutely what you're going to need here right now. This Knight of Wands, he doesn't doubt his ability to get to the very end. He's just tired. He just looks like, well, I mean, in a way, he does kind of doubt that there is anything that's going to change, but he's not ready to give up yet. He's putting too much effort, too much work, and he's too strong to let any sort of circumstances around him keep him from what he wants. But the Knight of Pentacles is a little different. He's come a long way. He's starting to see the sprouts, but at the same time, he knows there's going to be work that needs to be put in, more work. So when it comes to a difficult situation, I really feel like, you know, it all depends on what it is that you truly want at the end of the day. Three of Swords is heartache, it's pain, it's, you know, it's not a comfortable card. It's not very inspiring kind of card either. However, you do have everything it takes. You do have the confidence here. It was shown in the past. And I feel like if you want to manifest, it will take more time. It will take a lot of growth. It will take patience, and it will take what you've placed boundary wise to help you get through it. To really help you figure out if this is something that truly is what you want to commit to continuously. But the Three of Swords is possibly not just old issues or pains that you have of a partner, but old issues that you may have with yourself, especially when it comes to being so far into a relationship, but feeling like, but feeling a lot of these old issues. All right. Or feeling some sort of something that's triggered you. Okay. Something that's triggered you to make you even wonder or make you even question whether or not this relationship is worth putting, being put off, for just saying, forget it. There's something that may have come up that, made you feel like this, right? But if you ever have any doubts about yourself, you have this here. You have confidence. You have the ability to manifest. You believe in yourself. You know who your true authentic self is. And deep down you are magic, Pisces. So in regards to manifesting what it is that you want, you've gotten so far already. You've gotten so far in, and it's exhausting. You've been beaten down. You've been tired, but you've come so far. You do have everything it takes to manifest what it is that your heart wants. But it's about facing these old issues or these old triggers that come up in your relationship that really strengthen you and the relationship. Because here in your future you have the Eight of Pentacles, which talks about putting in the hard work, focusing diligently, and hardwired to pretty much fix these issues. Like, you're solution based now. You're solution based. And I feel like there may be a situation that comes up here where you're feeling like, you've been through so much and you don't know. Yeah, like I said, you don't know if you want to continue. You don't know, but you don't want to give up yet. You've put so much work into here. You're in a kind of weird phase in your life where you're having to look at it and go, I don't want to give up, but it's so painful. But in your future, you have the Eight of Pentacles. Hard work, focusing and concentration on what needs to be done and what needs to be worked on. It's going back to work, putting in the hard work. Because at the end of the day, I think you do figure out what you want. You do know what your heart's desire is. You are focusing on your best path, which is what your heart wants. The wish card. However, in your external energy, you have the Devil. Okay, and it's very interesting how you have major arcanas on either end of the reading. But the Devil is talking about feeling trapped in a situation. It talks about toxic relationships, but it also talks about addictions. Addictions, old ways of being, habits. But I feel like internally you're working very hard on it, working very hard. But the Devil here is almost like saying, remember that you are never truly trapped in a situation. You have freedom. Love is freedom, and it's not, you're not trapped in any sort of situation. And it may be hard, especially when, you've been seeing some old issues come up, but it's about working hard against these old things. Because at the end of the day, you know what the problem is. And it's about tackling these old habits, these addictions, this old situation, and keeping the situation from being toxic, potentially. All right. And for some of you guys, just to be throwing it out there, this could have a lot to do with sex. Maybe the sex life has died down a little bit, and there's the old situation where there wasn't a lot of stuff going on. Sex life was boring, and you felt you felt tired, you felt good and everything here, but then the sex life died, and then all of a sudden now you're starting to get more sex going on. Like, there's a lot more intimacy with you and your partner. That could potentially be happening there too. But ultimately, I feel like this is an all-around thing for the relationship. There's some old things that come up that need to be worked on, and you see that here, and you're like, I don't know if you can do it, but you have this here with the future saying, yeah, I'm working on it. I'm putting my heart's work into this because I know what I want. Despite this feeling trapped in some sort of addictions that come up, you are still looking at this relationship like, you know what? I'm still going, I'm not trapped in this situation. I'm trying to figure out how you can, feel free in a situation where you feel like you're trapped. Let me go ahead and take a look at what the room. Oh wow, separation. Time apart from your partner is on the horizon. So maybe there is a bit of, isolation going on here, because it does make sense. The Nine of Pentacles, it does talk about, being in a relationship, having everything that you want. However, you're not getting a lot of emotional support. And then one of the things I do say in a lot of my readings, when I don't see a lot of cups cards come up, I like to see more cup cards. If this is a relationship, I want to see that cup. I want to see the cup cards. And I feel like the only cup cards that we see, obviously, is the Nine of Cups, is feeling content, feeling emotionally stable, or feeling emotionally solid, because you know what you want. And I don't see a lot of cups anywhere. And I like to see more cups. So perhaps even from the past, like, yes, there was something that was rekindled here. You had everything that you wanted, but some sort of emotional connection. I feel like you were prepared. Obviously, you feel prepared here. You had a lot of confidence in yourself to manifest love, but you're still very exhausted because there's not a lot of love going on. There's not a lot of emotions being filtered through, and I feel like that's the devil coming up, right? Being emotionally open or something. Having something that has something to do with, I don't think it's codependency, but it has a lot to do with feeling trapped in a relationship where it may not be emotionally satisfying, or there's not enough emotions going on. But the devil in the Nine of Cups is getting what you wish, getting what you want. But I feel like, well, the Nine of Cups is talking about getting what you want, but the devil could be talking about just feeling like there is, there may not be an option, there may not be ways to do it, but you're finding a solution despite how the outside may look. Be careful about going back into codependent situations, Pisces. Let me go ahead and pull a card here with the devil to see what's going on. Why does the devil come up with in the future for Pisces? The devil comes up because of a completion of a cycle. So maybe in regards to the devil card coming up in the future, it's because you're wrapping up something from a karmic situation. You're ending this karmic story. And it makes sense. If you're recognizing the pain here and you're putting the hard work here, you're going to wrap up that karmic situation. And that's powerful, man. That's very powerful. There may not be a lot of connection right now, but the work, if the work puts in, you could see something. You could get something really wonderful out of it. But it all depends on what you guys want. I say to stay the course, but always pick your path. Don't let a reader tell you what to do. Don't let a reading tell you what to do. If this is just too much, this is just too much. But there's some triggers that are coming up here for you to see, so you don't have to be trapped anymore, so you don't have to feel stuck in a karmic cycle, so you can truly end that karmic cycle and begin something new and exciting.